Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am Leslye with What Leslye Loves, and today I'm kind of going to do a twofold video where I share my worst three handbags of 2024, and I kind of share my thoughts of where I plan to kind of shift my focus in 2025. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So the first bag sitting here is my Louis Vuitton Speedy B25, and some of you might be gasping because I did feature it on a video where I did a tag, and this kind of was like my all-around bag. And in my mind it is, but in practice, I don't know what it is about this bag, but I don't reach for her. And perhaps I think there are several reasons. This is now my only, I have a Mulberry Mini Alexa, and I would consider that a luxury brand, and it's definitely priced as such. But Louis Vuitton is on the pricier side, and I think that might be one of the reasons why it stops me. And I've owned several Louis Vuitton pieces. I've owned Gucci. I'm not new to the luxury space, but I parted ways with basically all of my luxury bags, and maybe that's a video I can share another day to all the luxury bags I've loved before. I went through this crazy season where I kind of went down the rabbit hole, and I think the immense irresponsibility of that kind of weighed down on me. And at that time I could totally justify all of those bags, but now not so much. Between inflation and we added another baby into the family, and I wasn't working as much, it wasn't justifiable. So some would be like, oh man, that sucks, but I really loved it because I had to go back to my ways of finding good deals, finding great value. And when I really looked at it long and hard, I'm personally not getting that out of this bag. Time out. All right, since he's probably gonna walk around and make his presence known, this is Milo. He hates when I carry him. Oh, buddy. I was away today, so he looks like he's got a lot of tears in his eyes. I won't carry you for too long, but just my baby. Or as my kids say, my favorite child. You good? Can you go back to your bed now? Back to the bag. The hard part is I've bought and resold this bag I think 3 times, probably one time too many. The last time it was worth it to me because I do have the version with the updated hardware, and it's beautiful. It's much shinier. I think it's gonna last the test of time. The zipper is even better. Let me show you the kind of new details. You've got the LV there. The D-ring is much nicer. The zipper pulls are a little bigger and much nicer. I think the improvements definitely made it worth it. But what would make it even more worth it is if I actually use the bag. I've traveled with this bag before. It is a great travel piece, and it is very low maintenance because you don't have any of the vachetta. You have the ability to wear it with the strap. Mine is made in France. I mean, she's beautiful. I do have the strap. I tend to wear this bag as a shoulder carry mostly. And then I do also have this strap that I had with my Allen. Some of you would think that's blasphemous. How could you do that? But this web strap works perfectly with this bag, and this shinier hardware kind of goes really well with the hardware of the bag, if you can see that. So I do also have it with a DGAZ silk organizer. That's the first time I've kind of branched out of my typical Zumoni. I think I like the Zumoni organizer better, but I mostly wear this with the organizer. And I think what I'm going to try to do in 2025, I almost said 2023. What I think I'm going to try and do in 2025 is wear this without the organizer. I was kind of chatting with some of my handbag buddies, and I think all of them kind of said, hey, you should try wearing this without the insert, and I think you might like it better because I do like the slouchiness of it. And I think that's why this time around I went with the silk organizer. I thought I would get a little bit more of that, and I do, but I'm gonna try. We'll see if I can kind of gather my bearings with her a little bit more. This is an aftermarket, just little key charm from Dress Up Your Purse that I put on it. Yeah, for several reasons, I can talk myself as to why I don't wear this bag, but I'm gonna try and wear her a little bit more in 2025. All right, the second bag is going to be not this bag in particular because I love this bag and I'll do a dedicated review on this. There's so many already, but I want to put my 2 cents in it. I'm specifically doing the fabric, and that is suede. Suede was all the rage in 2024, and I used to have suede bags, and I was a much more carefree person back then. I am not. I am super type A, very high strung, high stress. Everything's a big deal. But I had, as you guys know, the Coach Brooklyn, and I do have a video on that. That bag was beautiful, but I didn't love it. It was a little bit more narrow on the side, so it would topple over a ton. This bag does not do that to me. That's just a chain that I have that I make it look pretty with. You can see how I zhuzh my bags up on my Instagram page. I am starting to be more active on that page, but I was a little bit snobby, I'll be honest, and was like, I'm not gonna get an outlet bag because I tend to, if I wanna sell my bags, I just feel like outlet bags don't sell as easily as boutique bags do. Maybe that's an old misconception of mine, but I'm not saying that I am right, that was my thought process. However, I do know, obviously, I love this silhouette. I own it in black as well. And depending on how I release my videos, I filmed So Nice I bought it twice. So I own 2 of these. But really the main reason why I brought this one out is this is my only suede bag. I loved the craze of suede bags. I really would love a chocolate suede, but I stopped myself because I hardly wore the Brooklyn, and I was like, you know what? This bag was no longer available. You can kind of find it now, but at the time when I sold mine, it just wasn't really available on the website. I sold it for what I paid for it. Then I started seeing this kind of surface, and I thought, you know what, this is the best way for me to have this bag. However, I waited until I could go to a Coach outlet in person and see it in person, try it on, and as soon as I did, I was like, yep, the silhouette is chef's kiss. I'm gonna pick this up. The black one came later, blah, 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 blah. All that to say, it really was like, this bag comes in a like cream or taupey suede, a navy suede, and a maple color suede. I just think they kind of look tacky, and that's what you have to be careful with suede, is you have to, I've had several people ask me on my Coach Brooklyn video, how do you think it's gonna stand up? It's suede. You're just gonna have to, like, people are in a pickle because they're so upset that you can kind of see, if you can see what I'm talking about, the wear and tear of how the hardware is kind of sitting on there. That doesn't bother me. This bag wasn't cheap, but it wasn't expensive, and so I like this version a little bit better than the Brooklyn because you've got the leather trimmings. Underneath this strap is leather, and then the bottom where you would see wear and tear is leather. So I love suede, and it's gorgeous, but it's gonna get beat up, it's gonna get trashed, and I bought this bag keeping that in mind, that it's just gonna happen. So suede is number 2. And last but not least is flap style bags. You'll find that very surprising because this is kind of like my 1-year YouTube anniversary time frame. In fact, I think I was wearing the same dress in my quilted tabby unboxing, but the videos that kind of followed after, if I can speak, I realized they were all mostly flat bags, and I love a flat bag. In my top 5, I featured a couple flat bags. However, I made the huge realization this year, and as such, my collection changed because of it, that I don't love using them. I love the way they look, but when I'm out and about, and my lifestyle is very, I mean, maybe it's common, maybe it's not, but I have 4 little ones. I have 5 kids total. I think I say that all the time, multiple times, so sorry, because I'm trying to remind myself how many kids I have. But I have a very busy lifestyle. And so I'm always on the go. I'm always multitasking. I always try to bunch up my errands together so that I can be as efficient as possible. So this is a silhouette that I think is just stunning. I love this. I loved the Pochette Matisse. I owned a few and parted ways with them. I owned several Cassies. I've owned several Paris 15s, but I don't reach for them. And I hate that because I love them and I could talk myself into them every single day. I can never talk myself out of them. I can always talk myself into them. But they're just that little bit more cumbersome. And this isn't hard, but I do like my back phone in the back pocket, but I always kind of need to reach for my wallet because as a business owner, I'm paying with different cards. And anyway, too much explanation to say flat bags is number 3, but that really is number 3. But as you can see, I have to have them in my collection. These are now down to like, I'm never getting rid of these. These are my tried and true. I love them. I recently added this, and this has been such a great win for me because it makes me feel like I have the silhouette that I love and adore in a way that doesn't make me feel guilty seeing it sit on the shelf, because this is more like my stadium bag, that kind of bag for me. And it works. It just works, and it works when it needs to, and the rest of these they're sitting on my shelf a little bit more often than I like to, but all that said, I'm glad that I made the realization that I can kind of like release my mind of trying to hunt for the perfect one, if you know what I mean. All right, so rather than having a completely blank canvas and you just seeing my face babble on and on and on and on, I have some eye candy, my little Cassie 17. I think she's so cute. When I unboxed her, I was like a little squealing schoolgirl, just tickled pink, and I was like, I get it. I get why people like mini bags. And then this is my latest find. I don't really ever get any of the trendy things, but I was drawn to this. And then I should give him a name. Maybe you guys take a vote down and give my little measuring tape a name. But he's my handy dandy little thing. 2025. I did a dedicated video last year and nobody watched that. I mean, I'm a nobody. I'm the tiniest channel, so I'm not that important. I did that mostly for me. But for 2025, I've kind of said this now in several of my videos that I've recorded, because I kind of mass record just in batches because I need to. That's just kind of how things are for me. I did damage, but then I always like sold bags to make up for my purchases. However, I probably still was at a deficit for my spending. And I think many of us, I will link her channel below. I can't think of her name right now, but she did a video that I just watched this morning, and it was very thought-provoking for me because it was a thought that has been kind of going through my mind, and I think many of us are kind of at this sort of point. Nothing But Bags and Liz and I were kind of chatting last week or the week before on just wanting to be very intentional with our purchases in 2025 for financial reasons, for responsible reasons, for consumerism reasons. We all have our own reasons. I'll share mine specifically. And I've kind of shared them throughout the video, but my lifestyle has changed a bit. I do feel like I'm gearing up to get a bit busier with work now that my youngest is a little older. And I'm not the stay-at-home mom type. I love my babies, and they are my life is framed around them and my husband and my family's needs, but I do like to have that sort of production for myself. And so that said, I will still buy bags. That's the reality is it's something that I very much enjoy. And so mentally, I gave myself the grace to say, hey, lessons learned. I am not really able to travel a ton, just because I have the sheer amount of children I do, and various spectrums in terms of being neurodivergent and different needs at different ages. So that said, this is kind of my pastime. It's my hobby, and YouTube has become a hobby for me, and it's become a point of joy for me. I don't know how to put it. If you're a content creator, you kind of know what I mean. It's weird calling myself a content creator, but you kind of, sometimes you end up buying things because of influence. And so I am a person that's easily influenced. Just as you wrap up your year and as you're starting a new year, undoubtedly we're all thinking about, what did I do well, or what did I not do so well, and what do I want to change in 2025? So for me, the big ones are: be more intentional, be happy with what I have, and stop spending. Sorry. I need to stop spending. And again, I sold a ton. I sold a ton, and I love where I'm at now. But I kind of want to stop the madness, not the bleeding, because I'm not bleeding. It's madness. I'm tired of packing up. Like today, I have a couple bags that sold. I need to pack them up, but I wanted to film, and I just don't want to do all that anymore. So I do think that many of us in this handbag space, and kind of like the similar subscribership count or any of that, I think we're all kind of thinking like, okay, this is great, but now what? And so, but if I can speak, but now what that looks like, I really don't know. And I hope that you'll hang in there with me. I named my channel What Leslye Loves because I want to be able to showcase with you all the things that I love. And handbags are just a little snippet. They kind of did take the front seat for a few years, but this year in particular, I have already found that my focus is shifting a little bit. What I watch on YouTube is shifting a little bit. I'm kind of tired of watching what's in my bag. I never really watched those, but I started watching them this year. My content viewing, what I do is a little bit different. Let me share one thing really quickly. One thing I've kind of come back to so far in 2025 has been like doodling and journaling. I do have a big Vanderspec leather planner, but I found that I'm kind of more on my phone, and I got an iPad, and I'm trying to get to use that a little bit more. I'm trying to build some new habits this year, but this has been so wonderful. My daughter put me onto this. This is the Amanda Rachley. She's another YouTuber, and I was like, I'm probably a little too old for this. No, I'm not. I love this little planner, and you can look her up on Instagram and look up her channel. It's wonderful, but you can kind of like color these pages, and let me go to like a empty, oh, here we go. So you have like a habit tracker page and a mood tracker. I'm kind of embarrassed. Oh, I guess I could kind of show January. I'm missing a few, but I love how that's going to be like a beautiful piece of like mosaic window, whatever you call those windows that have a whole lot of pattern and color. My habit tracker, I put exercise, a full bottle of water, walking, Bible study, journaling, no spend. I'm doing okay. I'm tracking that. And I found that this little page has been so helpful for me to stay on track. And then on the individual dates, I'm keeping my Vanderspec agenda as my agenda, but on these pages, I've been putting scripture. You put whatever you want to put on there. That's a goal for me. I want to get in my word more. But this has been so nice to come back to, and I really want to go back to reading and distracting myself in different ways other than digital forms. And I bought this book. It's called, it's probably going to turn into a therapy session, but Fat and Unhappy. I really need to lose weight, and I think I found the culprit, and I'm on my way to do that. I found a physician that is specifically a hormone specialist. I think a lot of my handbag purchases probably were a bit more on the emotional side. I mean, I love them all, and who knows what will happen when my hormones get balanced. Will I still be a crazy handbag lover? Probably, let's be real. But I'm really excited to harness and take back control of my health this year. I set that as a goal last year, and my health got worse. I I go see my doctor tomorrow, but I need to take my health back, and I think that needs to be prioritized. I turned 43 this year, and at the pace that I was running, the way I was doing things is not sustainable. So that's going to be a big part of my life, and I feel like I want to document that a little bit more because I know I'm not alone. So many of us, aside from whatever our passions are going through life, and many of us are middle-aged women watching my channel because I did look at my demographics, and yeah, I plan to kind of share that a little bit more because it's kind of like this, like, oh, you all deal with it. Oh, perimenopause or menopause, we all deal with that. No, I mean, yes, we do. As women, we do, but we should talk about it more. And so I set this page up to be a place of community, and that's what I want it to be. So if you don't care to listen to those videos, you're not hurting my feelings. I think a lot of this, like I said, is probably therapeutic for me to talk about, but that's kind of where my mind space is at in 2025. I want to be happy. I want to have a bit more gratitude and enjoy what I have currently. I don't want to add in because it does kind of go against my principles of keeping things tidy, and the one in, one out was a great way to keep myself in check and not ever let myself go too crazy, but it was tiring, and I have other things I need to focus on this year. So you're still gonna see handbag content if you're here for that. Don't worry, I still love them, but I will share a little bit more of my journey as I figure out what's going on with my hormones and get my health back in order, and hopefully start feeling a little bit better. And maybe when that all kind of gets straightened out, I might look back and be like, well, screw this crap. Let's start all over again. So anyway, I'm gonna stop blabbering on. I hope you found this helpful, and more than anything, to those of you who keep returning back and commenting, thank you. It really has meant the world to me. It's hard doing this. It can be tiring. It's so much fun, but it's still work. And so thank you for coming to my little corner of the world, and I'm here fidgeting. And I hope to share plenty more here in 2025. I wish you the best in 2025, whatever your goals may be. Put some of them down below. Let's talk about it. And I will stop there. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.